Welcome everybody back to ABC Murders. Alright, we're going to finish this last one. We were having some trouble with that puzzle over there, but it's done and over with now.
It looks like this woman is single, but she has feelings for someone.
Nice, easy so far, huh?
She is looking so intensely at this photo. But is it really a sister that she's studying in this manner? They made the perfect couple, am I correct?
Yes, in a way. She was pretty and he...
Well?
He's a bright man, with a promising career ahead of him. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous. Oh, a true gentleman.
I hear a note of envy in your voice.
You must have heard wrong.
Ask if Donald was in love with Betty. Ask Donald was jealous. Oh, good X.
Donald appeared to be very much in love with your sister.
Yes, he was mad about her.
Mad, you say? Being madly in love can often be destructive, and Mr. Fraser was known for being jealous, I believe.
No more than average. Men are always slightly possessive, especially when they are with a pretty woman.
Go why?
I am not your enemy, Mademoiselle Bernard.
And you are not my friend either, Mr. Poirot, sir.
Yes, but your lies are not helping Mr. Fraser, or you, for that matter.
Ask her why she's protecting. Go why?
I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Protect him? I hope you're not suggesting...
That you are Fraser's accomplice? There is nothing to suggest that, at least not yet. It would appear that your sister's murder is the second in a series that we have to stop as quickly as possible. The first was in Andover, and the same as your sister, the murderer sent me a letter informing me that a crime would be committed in that town. Now can I count on your honesty?
Yes, you have my confidence, Mr. Poirot. Don is a quiet and sensitive young man. Slightly reserved, too. And as is often the case with reserved people, when he flew into a temper, he completely lost control. He could be so violent. Betty was frightened.
And when was this?
The first time was about a year ago. But they rowed more recently. Donald found out that Betty had lied to him. She said she was going out with a girlfriend, but she went out for dinner with a married man. It was an awful scene. She told him that until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying one day...
Well?
He'd commit murder.
Ask if she fears that Donald is a suspect. Ask. Go X.
Do you think that is what happened?
No, Mr. Poirot, I don't believe that. You yourself said he may be a recidivist madman. Don loved Betty with all his heart. I can't imagine for one instant that he would hurt her.
Very good, Mademoiselle Bernard. Thank you for your help.
Fraser is at the Ginger Cat. The police haven't spoken to him, but they want to.
Très bien, Hastings. Let's see him now. Au revoir, mademoiselle. My deepest condolences to your parents.
Of course, Mr. Poirot. And don't be too hard on Don. He's more fragile than he looks.
If you say so. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
What had Betty planned to do with her evening? You probably plan to meet someone in the evening. Betty used to go out right now. Betty was seeing another man instead of Donald. There were a lot of visitors. No. Company guests to the Ginger Cat or something. Maybe. No. Betty lied. Yeah, that's it. Okay, Betty lied to Donald because she had a date with another man. Ooh. X? No. No. The victim had a mark on the neck.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
And again. Oh. Okay. What is Megan Bernard's behavior hiding? Try this one. That's no. Okay. That one? No. Megan loved her sister. I guess not. Megan is an intelligent woman. Betty was seeing another man. Oh, I know that. Okay, let this one Y, this one A. No? Neither of those. Screw it. I'll just use a clue. Megan kept looking at the photo of Donald and Betty. Megan kept looking at the What? Jeez. Did Megan Bernard have a motive for killing her sister? Oh, the first one. Alright, now let's go question him. No. It's hard to decide who did this one.
You've seen Fraser, Hastings. What is your feeling?
He's a big chap. Fragile isn't exactly the word that springs to mind. I talked to his landlady before seeing him. She went to bed at 11. Fraser wasn't home yet.
Bien. Megan Barnard said he is a reserved character but with a nasty temper. We will see if this is the case.
Come on, that guy's beating you. Let's go faster. What?
Could it be the same buildings as on the victim's photo? This is definitely where the photo I found in the hut was taken.
Didn't even know that clue was like where I could look at the photo. So I started moving the cursor around. I would have never seen that was there.
How do you do, Mr. Fraser?
You're Hercule Poirot. Mr. Hastings said you wanted to speak to me.
Yes. I know that it may not be at the right time, but I would like to ask you a few questions. This man looks suspicious. Donald Fraser is in a terrible state, as if he hadn't slept all night. And he's drinking White Horse.
Leave me alone. Tell me that it's a mistake. That Betty isn't dead.
Sadly, your lady friend has been murdered, Mr. Fraser.
Oh, Betty, if only you'd listened.
Ask her what Betty. Ask what Betty. Can she please ask what would have happened if she listened to him? Okay.
If she had listened to you, she would still be alive. Should I take that to be a confession?
With that sort of thinking, you must send a lot of innocent men to prison. Under different circumstances, I might even find you amusing, sir.
It's no time for amusement, Mr. Fraser. It is time to find your fiancé's killer. Did you know what her plans were for the evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
Specify that her sister was in London. Ask why he believed her ex.
And you believed her?
And why not, sir? She was my fiancée.
That did not stop her from lying to you before. Betty was not a bad girl, but she did like to take advantage of her success with men.
How dare you sully her memory?
Inform him that there is a killer to find. Apologize for having been.
I am not interested in memories of her, Mr. Fraser. I am looking for a killer, and I need you to be my closest ally. That is, unless you have something to hide.
Of course I don't.
Très bien. So, what were we saying? Where were you yesterday evening?
I looked everywhere for her, but in vain. When she said she was going to have dinner with her sister on a weekday, I thought it was strange. I tried not to think about it, but I was like a lion in a cage. I was convinced she was lying. So I went round all the restaurants in the town. When I didn't find her, I went to the next town. But nothing. I must have got home about midnight or 1 o'clock.
Did anybody see you?
I don't think so. I didn't talk to anybody. I was so furious.
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Yes, is all yours, Chief Inspector. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay, there was a braided silk belt. No. Okay, well I must... Oh, that's gotta be wrong then. Did Donald have a motive for... It would help if I read the top. Did Donald have a motive for Betty's murder? Okay, I think that one's on... Really? Does Donald have an alibi? Okay, does Donald have a motive for all the murders? Okay. Yeah.
Hastings looks ill at ease. He really doesn't like Fraser. Hastings is bound to tell me what he thinks about Fraser later on. Now is not the right time.
So, should I question him again?
No need to insist. I will certainly have the opportunity to question him again.
So I talk to her again.
I don't want this young man here. Be quick and do what you must.
Okay. Return to the crime scene. Okay. Alright.
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely jealous.
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Japp to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree, without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars. Bon, I think we have enough elements. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
I can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene.
Alright.
The killer and the victim are walking on the beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5.
Did she change? I'll go change.
Miss Betty enters the hut.
No. It wasn't hut number 5. Let us think again, mon cher.
Damn. Okay, I'll get it right this
The
time.
killer and the victim are walking on the
6.
beach. Miss Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6. Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a code.
No, because she was farther out.
They keep walking. Then she removes her belt.
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise. The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Everything appears to match the crime scene, mon cher Hastings. That is exactly what happened.
Alright, got it.
Without the ABC, we might have suspected Mr. Asher and Mr. Fraser. But by timing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very generous of him.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, mon cher Hastings.
Still have yet to find out what you do with all the eco points. Okay, I'm gonna end this one here, and I'll see y'all in the next one. See y'all in the next episode. Y'all have a good rest of the day. Later.